Hey, what's up, all you beautiful people? It's Leroy Gagans here, coming at you with another Tracking the Pros Spectate. Before we get into the Spectate, though, I'm going to give you the usual spiel. Thank you guys for, showering all of this kind of content with love. If you guys want to see more of this, please like and subscribe. If you guys want to see something else, either league-related or non-league-related, please leave it in the comments below, and I'll get that to you guys as soon as I can. So, without further ado, let's get into this replay. Today we're spectating SKT T1's jungler, Cuzz. We already did one of their junglers, Owner, earlier this week, I think, or it was last week, one of those. But today we're doing Cuzz. He's playing Diana today, and I'll just let the credits roll. As we get into the game, let's go ahead and go over the runes. There's Pamping wanting to do some kind of group invade, most likely. We have Conqueror on the Diana today with Triumph, Legend Tenacity, Coup de Grace, Magical Footwear, and Cosmic Insight. We keep saying a lot of Cosmic Tenacity instead of Cosmic Alacrity, or not Cosmic Legend Tenacity instead of Legend Alacrity. Sorry about that. And on this side, there isn't a lot of CC, so I don't know if you can make a case for it. I mean, you do have the Rakan kind of fucking you up. The micro stun from Talia isn't really going to matter all that much. And then Singed, you can't really escape his ground, so like, is it value? Not super value. They were just stacking there in the bush to prep for any kind of weird invade. We do have a Predator Singed in the mid lane against Alawi in the mid lane. This game is kind of whack as fuck. It is a Grandmaster, higher Grandmaster, lower Challenger Elo game. And yeah, Cuzz is looking to start his red buff here, most likely. Just going with the point defense. As we see most people do, we have an early ward coming over for the side of the Graves. And Cuzz is just going to start up this red buff with his bot lane as well. Their bot lane looking to cheese, leaving the Fog of War off today as we get the full spectrum of where the junglers are starting. We have Qiyana starting her red buff. Cuzz is just going to clear up. Could look to do the Raptors as well, but is most likely just going to try and do an influential clear up into the top lane before the Tryndamere gets 6, I would have to say. As Qiyana then goes and does her Raptors, we have Cuzz going over a little under half health to his blue side. Gets E second instead of W. Okay. Normally you don't see that for a multitude of reasons, just because it's a little bit more risky to do, but he is going to get the Q off onto the blue buff and the Gromp at the same time. We're going to get the passive proc off on both the camps too. That is much value. And we get the smite coming down as well onto the Gromp. Just speed clearing here, wants to get level 3 as fast as humanly possible, getting all that single target damage out from the E, even though I think W is a little bit better. Now we're going to go straight down into this. Going to pick up W level 3 and just clear the wolves going forward into the bot lane. Maybe he does not want to influence this because he really can't. You don't really dive this very, very well. Especially as Diana Graves, not a lot of setup, not a lot of CC there. We have a shadow coming in from Diana as Lowy gets chunked out by the Singed as well. Predator Singed kind of OP, you know what I'm saying? I am going to be looking for this Singed to actually make pretty good plays around the map as he gets tethered up. Gonna have to back after that, no doubt. We have a full clear coming out the side of Diana where the Scuttle Crabs spawn. Scuttle Crabs are spawning right now. Qiyana's in the river already, going to lock this one up before Diana gets there. Does do the Krugs a little bit too slow. Can look to influence the bot lane if Qiyana chooses to shadow here instead of just go down, but does think that the Diana is up there because we saw that the bot lane was starting. Diana is going to come down here. Blue already starting with the first blood in the bot lane. Going to trade up. We have Diana now coming in. Lucian's not going to get over aggressive with the summoner usage and just going to die to Diana. We now have Qiyana looking to try and clean it up, but they see her out on the back end of that. She now just has to leave. Gonna go ahead and stun up the Diana. Can do a little bit of trading here. You can't kill her though. Don't have enough damage on this side of the Qiyana alone. And if you do choose to fight Diana, I think you just lose that because of the Conqueror dip. Because now we're going to just back reset, probably look for this top skill crab, I would assume, as we see that Qiyana has 28 farm. You can infer the camps that she did. Yeah. So you would have to count the Raptors in on this, because you would also have to assume that this is gone because she came from that direction as well. Because also not looking for the Skull Crab right away. just looks to help the bot lane out. We now have Singe running up the top lane, going to go back mid now with his Predator. Nothing really goes on that side for him. We now have the Skull Crab being taken up by Cuzz. Cuzz now going to fall back to his jungle, farm it up. We have the Raptors taken out by Kiana, going to go up toward the top side, but this pathing is... that's fine. Depends what you try to do next. Can't really influence top lane. I don't think the entire lane's just going to bounce and reset. We're going to have the Trinimir backing, no doubt, with his massive amount of gold as well. Cuzz is now just going to sequence back down toward this bottom lane. Going to go ahead and prioritize ganking this, getting the Drake because it's Infernal as well, and look for any kind of extra opportunity that he can as far as the mid lane goes as he's walking through. No doubt. Again, though, like Predator Singe probably doesn't want to do a whole lot. And then, so like this lane's just kind of shove and forget for Alawi, and now especially since she's level 2, she can set up the tentacles right here, and if anyone wants to try and tussle her, she can just ulti. The Singe has an opportunity to fling and ground into the turret, but that is a lost cause no matter what. I think if the Alawi is just left to her own devices in the team fight. We have Kiana now flash comboing the Kog'Maw. Beautiful combo coming out from the Kiana, getting that instantly. We now have Cuzz coming in. Doesn't get the reset off on the dash. We do have now Alawi coming in as well. This is looking to be a cleanup. We have the Q coming out on the side of Cuzz, getting the kill on the Rakan with TP coming down from the Singe. Coming in, just making sure a deterrent is happening. No more kills going over on the side of either team. We can get a 1-for-1 trade. Summoner advantage is on the side of blue team now, as TP does get expended. Alawi does run down, but no TP used. Does have that advantage for a later play if she so chooses, because it's not going to back after sequencing all the camps. I'm just going to look to do red buff into, I would assume, a river fight for the Scuttle Crab, if I had to assume, and given the current state of the map. Especially since we see Rakan here too. A afterthought would be if you want to protect your top laner from any kind of play like this, but especially with Graves, we're seeing a lot of Graves tops, guys. Yeah, I want to abuse this while it's hot. You know what I'm saying? Graves is, you know, as we saw yesterday, especially if people don't really punish you for just shoving and leaving. Like, you can just shove, get turret plates, get the early pressure down, and just tease you in lane like that. And especially if you're just not camped by everyone and their mother. You like, Graves does very, very well with a lot of gold, a lot of experience, and especially in top lane where you're on this kind of island, people just forget about you. You do come into team fights as an actual monster that people can't deal with, and as you get crit, as you get more sustain, you're a very, very viable threat in the side lane as well as the Graves. I do see merit in that pick. If nothing else, it is a very easy pick just to get away with. We do have a little bit of a tussle coming down. This is going to be the Singe getting tethered up and trading some of his health bar for Alawi's as well. The tentacles now coming out, but none of them should land the smack, I think. We're going to have Kiana coming in to help the Singe shove. Another tentacle grab comes out. The ulti comes out as well. I don't know what that's all about. I don't think the ulti's worth. Maybe it is, though. The Alawi is putting out some massive damage. Actually, it's a flash off the tentacle slap coming down as this one was placed back when. Holy shit. Okay, never mind. I'm not a Alawi player. Holy fuck. That was a lot of damage coming out on that side. So, just to recap the pathing, Cuzz went to the red buff. We fought mid a little bit. Gonna prioritize this because we see the Kiana controlling this side of the map. The bot lane does just have to kind of take the L here on the wave as well, because Cuzz is not on the side of the map. We do have a fight going down on the side of the top lane. Doesn't really want to go for that. Does just get the web trailed out. Trinimir is still Trinimir. If he gets those crits on you, you will just die, especially with the ulti too. He still does have the ulti here. Cuzz is not respecting it. I'm pretty sure this is one dead Cuzz. Yep. Just an unfortunate event. Just that was more of an awareness thing from Cuzz. Didn't look, saw the Graves got popped. Didn't check the buffs on him. You just click on him, right, and then you can see he's got the buffs or not. So he just ends up getting over some free gold. This Trinimir now is very, very scary in the side lane. If he just chooses to Yep, build some Iron Spike Whip, going for that Gourd Drinker. Yep, we all know this Trinimir build. If you guys have been keeping up with Worlds as well, it is a massive problem to deal with. We have now a double kill coming up inside the bot lane as they overcommit to the second tier dive. We have Lowry coming up to collect the free gold on the side of the blue team. We're gonna have now the Kiana is retreating back to her jungle after the overcommit down in the bot lane. We can get not a very worth trade. This Kog'Maw now, even in score, does you know, have a little bit down the CS. It's an AP Kog'Maw as well. I think that's fine. You do have the ADC option on the side of the Graves as well, and Alawi is the turret for all of these champions wanting to fight into you. Their entire team is very go in, not a very poke from range kind of champion, so the Alawi pick is actually mad value here. Don't know if this is actually an Alawi player or if this is just some kind of pick that they saw the game state and they're like, huh, well, people have to fight into me, let me just pick this. Either way, a very good pick, I think. And it is doing phenomenally well. Very, like, just knowing the limits of the champion, where we saw the play mid here where the ult just came out, and I was like, I don't know about that, because they're not going to really fight into you, but the burst damage coming down as well. We now have a dive on the Kog'Maw, the Coley coming out, going to just clean up the Kog'Maw straight, as the exhaust also is there to make sure no return damage is really able to be put down. But I do not think that the Lucian dies there either way, whether the exhaust is used or not. We now have the Repel coming down from the side of the mid lane. This is going to tick up the tower, give the turret plate money and the turret gold over to the side of the blue team. Lulu's now mid. We're going to have a fight coming in the side of the Trinimir as well. The Trinimir could give up his gold lead here if he doesn't do anything with it. We're going to have the ulti coming down after almost killing the Lulu. The Kiana now coming up to clean. She does have the ultimate display of balance just now. We now have the Graves coming up as well. The wallbang coming over on the side of the Trinimir. The ulti just barely not killing the Rakan. That is very sad on the side of the Graves. Expense the flash forward as well. Very close though, I will say. We now have Diana going to the Dragon. Graves is going to pressure this lane. Graves is going to trade back some damage on the Kiana and get this turret, no doubt. Can also shove this wave too. I don't think the Kiana can actually step up very much. Yep, just going to get wallbang there. Does have to go home. Singe is now here too. Can just cue the wave the next time it's up, or we can just auto attack it all down. We now have Diana now clearing this Drake. Make sure to stay hydrated, guys. I don't know how shoutcasters do it all the time. Hopefully they take frequent drinks of water. Jesus Christ. It is a wear on your throat, no doubt. They're now going to go toward her red, no doubt. The Kog'Maw doesn't really need it. It is the AP Kog'Maw, like I said earlier. You could make an option for the Graves to have it, but the Graves is going to be in the side lane. Now it's just going to go back up to the top lane. You do really, like, have a good time using this as Diana as well. Diana does auto attack a lot, makes a really good use of it with her passive as well, giving that AoE cleave. Ooh, the tether just coming out right onto the Kiana, taking a big chunk of her health. This tether is now max rank as well, doing a hefty amount of damage to the enemy that she tethers up. For the people that don't know, the tether is like all of Lowy's strength. As we see, it's it converts 61% of the damage done to the spirit to the person. So you can just tether them up, chunk them out, and then it's a pretty low cooldown too. What's the cooldown on this? 9 seconds. Okay, so like you're just kind of meeting around. You can just like pull a tether, and a lot of people are like, oh yeah, you want to tether on a value target. Even if you just tether someone in the front line, right? That is just a huge amount of damage that can just go down as the Lucian gets over aggressive with it and dies to the turret shot, plus the Kog'Maw damage does not respect that at all. We now have a kind of Truxkin standoff happening in the river as Kog'Maw is going to collect the wave back with his gold. We have the pathing coming down from both the junglers, could look to influence this bot lane. Cuzz is going to be slow in the reaction if Kiana decides to go with it, but this is a death sentence if you're on the side of the blue, because we have a Gourd Drinker Alawi for one. It is just a monster of an item, as we all know. She is going to 1v2 you. We can already foresee this right here. We have full level advantage on the side of the Alawi. The ulti comes down, but it is not enough to just kill them straight out, and then Alawi actually coming in with the return damage too, almost killing both of them, but not quite. Cuzz comes in with the action play uses the Proto Belt phenomenally and gets the double kill on that side. Alawi does go down, give over the shutdown, gives over a lot of EXP, but does do the damage she is supposed to do. It was actually really good turn of events there from the side of the red team after the insta pop did not come through because they just do not have enough damage to do that on their side, especially with Singed and Kiana. Kiana's not super fed. We now have a dive coming down. Again, I've seen this a lot where they just over-aggress for the Kog'Maw. The Kog'Maw actually lives a little bit too long there and makes the summoner advantage straight, and now we have Diana coming to clean up as well. Especially if you're just going to overcommit in the mid lane, you do have to be very, very careful about the team just showing up. Kiana now here as well with the Ghost Blade, but it's just going to be a back away as Rakan takes the blast play over the wall. The sequence now coming out. Side wave trade coming over from the side of the Graves and the Singed 83 farm at 15 minutes. This pick is looking to be a detriment for his team as he is 0-4. The Predator not really coming out, not really doing a whole lot. We didn't see a whole lot of roams coming out from the Singed like it is 15 minutes, and this game state is already blown wide open. A very, very fast-paced game as really have the mid lane blown open here on the side of the red team. Doesn't have the safety net, and we have full turret advantage on the top side of the map. Not bot lane for the Alawi, but the Alawi, of course, is this 2v1 monster. Does have to be a little bit careful about getting wall banged here, as she is going to look up to fight this. I think she's going to fight around her tentacles. The ulti comes out. The ultimate display of balance comes out again. We're just going to have the tether up as Trimmer takes the majority of his health. They're just going to wait for the tentacles to dissipate. We now have the TP on the side of the Singed now coming out. We're going to have another tether grab coming out as well, chunking the Kiana for even more of her health. The tentacle smack finishing her off because of the passive of the tentacle slam. And this is just a 1v3 situation on the side of the blue team. This Alawi is actually a fucking monster, just allowing the rest of the map just to get objectives. Cuzz just using that pressure effectively, getting the Rift Turtle, getting the damage down, the team roaming with it. Kog'Maw just being forced to be alone there as well. Seems like this Kog'Maw Lulu synergy is not where it's at. It just seems to be Kog'Maw by himself 9 times out of 10. Doesn't really need to be at the top side with the Nana, because we do have the 3-person engagement bot lane, and we do see that their AD is just going to power shove mid. Kind of a weird champ, but wants to be proactive nonetheless. Drake's now up. We will have a tussle with this, and this could decide the game too. The Rakan looking for the angle, does not find it. The flash coming out from the side of the Lulu, doesn't get the insta tap on it. Makes Rakan use the ulti as well. Does not have the ulti for the team fight, which would be very, very huge, especially for stunning up this Alawi and this Diana. So they cannot just run rampant in a team fight. Now, a full front-to-back team fight with this team comp is going to be very, very scary. We're going to have the AP Kog'Maw just throwing out poke nonstop. Now they're running at the Kog'Maw. We're going to have the Hextech Protobolt coming out from the Singed, but it's not going to happen just yet. The Dragon just gives way to the blue team. Red team not looking for much of a contest there, as they just look to damage the Kog'Maw. This Kog'Maw is 4-6, but still does a lot of damage. Does have to be very wary of the poke damage coming out from this champion. As well as the hard engage that's going to come over from the Diana as well. And Graves is being a menace in the side lane. We do have a tether coming up. Tagging the Rakan just leaves the range instantly. You do not want to stay in that range and then give the Alawi the poke damage. That is the biggest mistake that you can do. You don't want to just stay in the range so they can hit the Spectre, because 65% of the damage the Spectre is going to take is going to go straight to you. We have the lane setups now just coming out on the side of the blue team. Looking to be a very methodical game, just going to set up for either the next objective or the next pick that's going to happen. Red's overcommitting a lot when it comes to the side, of just diving the Kog'Maw over and over, and it's kind of working out for them because the Lulu's not really staying around all that much. But as especially the map starts to open up and you don't have multiple pressure points to kind of pay attention to, they can just babysit the Kog'Maw mid now. And it's going to be a much harder game to find these advantages on the side of the red team. I'll say advantages, like they haven't been using all of their sums every time they want to kill the Kog'Maw, which by itself is pretty impressive if you think about it, because a Kog'Maw is just one target that they're dumping their entire bot lane sums on, and they cannot find it in either respect. We have the Baron coming up in 30 seconds. Both teams not looking to give up vision in this area. We do have a beautiful engage coming out from the Danny. Tags up Lucian with the Kog'Maw combo plus the Graves combo. This insta-kills him as well. We do have some damage trade over from the side of the red team, but it's just not enough to matter on that front. We're going to have the Sins tagged up by the Alawi passive as well. And now they have full control over this river. Full control over the Baron objective as well. This is going to look to be a easy take on the side of the blue team if they want to do it. And the best part is, if the red team wants to instead try and fight this Baron play, then you do have to fight into the likes of a Graves, the likes of an Alawi, the likes of a Kog'Maw that actually has time to position and poke you down as well. Now, again, Kog'Maw AP is a poke champion, but does have a lot of burst with the combo. If you get tagged up with the E, a couple of hits from the ulti as well as the shred from the Q, you will just fall over. It doesn't need to auto attack you all that much. You can just stay very, very safe from range and get that damage down. Kog'Maw's now going to set up mid with his team, just looking to get mid prior here as the red team sets up for maybe a cheese play. Do have the Kiana waiting in the winds, just clearing up the jungle. It's what you want to pay attention to. Kiana jungle being farmed currently. Cuzz already farmed up his jungle, going to wait for these Raptors to spawn too. Has the prowl from his team, I would assume, as well. Yep, the wave just gets insta clear from this Kog'Maw. Now this Kog'Maw is now a menace when it comes to the wave clear. We're going to have the Shrillies coming out for extra safety on the side of the Lulu. They do just get massive advantage here. The red team kind of in this awkward position. They either have to fight in or just go over the wall, as the entire red side jungle is not going to be choked out. The Alawi pushing the top lane as well. No one contesting her at this current moment. No one can just 1v1 that champion. Graves is just looking to scuffle over the wall here with the team. Does get flung out. This is a very awkward fight on the side of the blue team. We do have ultimate slay of bounce, stunning up the bot lane of the blue team, coming down and killing the Lulu. Actually, a phenomenal ulti coming out from that Kiana right there as well. As Tryndamere goes and tries to solve the situation on the side of the top lane, the stacks coming out. Tryndamere's not going to have enough damage to kill that. Does have to kind of be careful with the tentacle smacks coming through. Alawi is now going to have the Core Drinker procs coming in. They want to fight. It's going to be a saucy fight. We have the Alawi, or not Alawi, the Kiana running for her life from the likes of the Alawi, Kog'Maw, and the Diana. The movement is just going to be too much, though. She's going to stall out a lot of time, allowing the waves to be cleared, stuff to be equalized. That was a 2 for zip trade on the side of the blue team there. They lost both Graves and the who else died? The Lulu? Yeah, the Lulu died as well. Yeah. Lulu died super early in that fight to the Kiana. Yeah. But now everyone's back on the map. We're gonna get the Dragon up next, as the Baron is not fought over. The game is a little bit closer than they would like to see. I would like to go back and watch that real quick. Hopefully the replay doesn't break, but you already know it's going to. Yep, there it is. Yep, replay breaks. I gotta reload once again. Let's see what happens here as I just went back just way too far, I think. Yep. We're gonna have the Lucian just going back mid lane. Cuzz just looking for something to do here. Could just go and farm his jungle, but instead is going to look to just assassinate the Lucian as soon as he sees the E coming out, and just drops the ulti. The summoner use is not coming down from the Lucian. That is just one dead ass Lucian there. As now they set up for this Drake that is absolutely free. They do not have the pressure of the Lucian coming down in order to help. Red team goes and tries to get vision advantage. This is going to be cleared out right after this. They can't just do this objective. Their Lucian is dead. They can just clear vision if they wanted to, but the Skull Crab is here, giving them full knowledge of what the play is, as Diana just goes and takes the dragon as well. Red team just kind of has to back off after Lucian dies in one tap to the Diana. Cuzz on this Diana now has Hextech, Rocket Belt, and Umbrella Namicon. So I haven't really talked about Cuzz a whole lot this game. This Alawi has kind of been the star of the show as far as the side lane pressure goes. She's absorbed a lot of pressure from the ganks. Speaking of which, here it is, another 1v3 situation. The Core Drinker proc is coming out. Not enough damage, though, on the side of the Alawi to finish off the Kiana and the Rakan, and the ultimate from the Tryndamere coming over. But a lot of damage coming out. This Alawi is no doubt going to have the max damage in the game. She is just getting these massive value ultis over and over and over. In the Death Stance now coming out to stave the damage from the Kiana and the Tryndamere combo, which is 90% of the damage coming through. We have no damage really on the side of the Singe. You know, Lowry has been the kind of star of the show, but also doesn't have a lone opponent. So there is that. Graves not going to take up the red buff, as I said earlier, is a very good candidate to do so. We have Red with Omen Graves coming over on this side as well to help with the crit damage and the burst damage from the Kiana. With the grid stacks too, this Graves is now kind of unkillable. Diana now just being a menace and one-tapping whoever she sees with the ulti is not going to set up for that huge ultimate team fight combo, but does love the jungler, giving them full priority just to the objective. The team is over chasing them. We now have Lucian falling down to the Lowry tentacles, is in a bad spot to dodge that after the spirit is comboed up. We have Diana just stopping the Tryndamere push as well. Tryndamere's just trying to have some fun this game, as most Tryndameres do, right? Their playstyle is very fun. They just split push and hope. But the Baron is now going to go down on the side of the blue team. This is what you want to see. You want to see proactive picks, especially if you do have a kind of non-stop pushing Tryndamere on this side like you do. Alawi now just talking about non-stop pushing. She has been in the side lane all game uncontested. It takes an entire team just to take her down. Rakan coming out, going to get the combo from the Kiana as well. Going to get flung over, but the Gourd Drinker plus the sustain is just too much to handle. We're going to have the entire team. The Tentacles actually smacking up the Kiana on the back end as well. The Gourd Drinker proc coming out, but is going to be enough to kill her as well. Just a massive Lowry on this side. Like I was saying earlier, I haven't really talked about Cuzz a whole lot this game. It's just been effectively just what we've seen in all of these pro replays, where their pathing starts off a little mind gamey sometimes, like we had the red buff play into what would you assume on the Kiana side of just a full clear up into the Skull Crab, but it ends up being a ping pong clear on the way back down in order to influence this bot side early. She ends up getting the kill on the Lucian as well, and then has to full sequence into looking for reactive plays. Top lane was just kind of its own island. There was nothing to do really mid, so all you had was this bot lane pressure point, which they played around phenomenally enough. The Lucian Rakan do seem to be very, very aggressive, and the overcommits do come through, leaving the easy cleanup for the side of Cuzz on this Diana as well. We're going to see the team just pick away the enemy jungle, going to suffocate them in this game. We have the Singe just falling over again. Nothing to really say about that. This Graves now has the Bloodthirster as well. It's just going to be a sustained menace with the Mortal Shield Bow. The damage coming out does have to flash away from the Kiana. Does not have it for the Graves though. The full burst damage coming over on the side of the Tryndamere. The Graves in the back line just doing huge amounts of work, as Tryndamere then just falls over after the ultimate just runs out. This is going to be a GG on the side of blue team, no doubt. It was kind of very back and forth. They had a lot of pressure that the Alawi just absorbed, but it like this is one thing that I want to talk about, right? You don't see any heal cuck on the side of either team except for this Morello here. And this Morello, I'm gonna go with the LS strategy and say it was useless this game. And you're gonna be like, why? Because the entire time you're looking for the one tap play. The one tap play on the side of the Lucian, the Kiana, right? You're not going to one tap the Tryndamere, the Singed XD. We do have Oblivion Orb coming out on the side of the Rakan. I don't know exactly when that came out. I can probably go back and see as well, but healing reduced about 1,000 of it, so it's probably pretty recent on that side, just because Rakan was always in the Alawi's and is trying to deal with that. But if you look at this right here, the thirsting slash damage and the healing damage does kind of negate the Gourd Drinker's healing damage, but doesn't negate the Death Dance healing. Alawi's innate healing, any of that shit, right? You have all of that in from that champion. Like, oh God, this is what we're talking about, guys. Where it's like heal cuck is kind of, I won't say useless, but it's not incredibly useful in this season. That's one of the main problems with it. This is going to be a cleanup from the side of the blue team as well. They're just going to push the Nexus and in the game, no doubt. Stars of this game, the Alawi absorbing so much pressure, getting that shit in. the optimization coming out from the Graves too, making sure that he doesn't just get that one tap, even though he had zero focus on him for the majority of the game. Doesn't really have to worry about that too much. Could have went for a grittier itemization here, and then been a little bit more safer in the team fights when it comes to the counter. The counter getting good ultis off as well, and then Cuzz, especially with that early lead, just looking for the one taps. This Murillo could have definitely just easily been a death cap, and then the one taps would have been just that much easier to pull off. Could have done some fancy stuff with the flash as well to try and get that in. But all in all, just a open shut game. It was monumentally aggressive on the side of the bot lane. Top side was really just a farm fest. Mid lane gap was monumental. In the jungle, there wasn't too much of a gap this game. It was just more of making sure you play around your team. Cuzz getting this really key picks on the back end of the mid game here as well is just what wins them any kind of situation, because when you make an entire team a person down, you do get free objectives like the Drake, like the push mid. You do get the free groups. You get one less person on the side of the Alawi going to focus down as well. So we get a very open shut game side of the blue team. It looks very close, but as we see, the gold lead, a 10k disparity as well on the sole point on the side of the blue team. This game was going to end no matter what. A victory for the side of Cuzz and his team. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this replay. If you guys do, as always, please like and subscribe. If you guys want to see more content, either league related or non-league related, please check out the other videos on the channel and leave in the comments below what you would like to see. If you guys want to see a certain spectate, certain pro, certain champion, let me know. I will find it for you guys. I love doing this kind of content. I love talking. I talk way too fucking much, as you can tell in these videos. I never shut up. Yeah, thanks guys for watching. Much appreciated for all the support you guys are throwing down. Stay fucking awesome. See you guys next time.